Adonai spoke to Moshe after the death of Aharon's 2 sons, when they tried to sacrifice before Adonai and died. Adonai said to Moshe, "Tell your brother Aharon not to come at just any time into the holy place, beyond the curtain in front of the ark cover, which is on the ark, so that he will not die, because I appear in the cloud over the ark cover." Here is how Aaron is to enter the holy place. With a young bull as a sin offering and a ram as a burnt offering, he is to put on the holy linen tunic, have the linen shorts next to his bare flesh, have the linen sash wrapped around him, and be wearing the linen turban. They are the holy garments. He is to bathe his body in water and put them on. He is to take from the community of the people of Israel 2 male goats for a sin offering and 1 ram for a burnt offering. Aharon is to present the bull for the sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and his household. He is to take the 2 goats and place them before Adonai at the entrance of the tent of meeting. Then Aharon is to cast lots for the 2 goats, 1 lot for Adonai and the other for Azazel. Aharon is to present the goat whose lot fell to Adonai and offer it as a sin offering. But the goat whose lot fell to Azazel is to be presented alive to Adonai, to be used for making atonement over it by sending it away into the desert for Azazel. Aharon is to present the bull of the sin offering for himself. He will make atonement for himself and his household. He is to slaughter the bull of the sin offering, which is for himself. He is to take a censer full of burning coals from the altar before Adonai, and with his hands full of ground, fragrant incense, bring it inside the curtain. It is to put the incense on the fire before Adonai, so that the cloud from the incense will cover the ark cover, which is over the testimony, in order that he not die. He is to take some of the bull's blood and sprinkle it with his finger on the ark cover towards the east. And in front of the ark cover he is to sprinkle some of the blood with his finger 7 times. Next he is to slaughter the goat of the sin offering, which is for the people. Bring its blood inside the curtain, and to do with it its blood as he did with the bull's blood, sprinkling it on the ark cover and in front of the ark cover. He will make atonement for the holy place because of the uncleanness of the people of Israel, because of their transgressions, all their sins, and he is to do the same for the tent of meeting, which is there with them right in the middle of their uncleanness. No one is to be present in the tent of meeting from the time he enters the holy place to make atonement until he comes out, having made atonement for himself, for his household, and for the entire community of Israel. Then he is to go out to the altar there, that is before Adonai, and make atonement for it. He is to take some of the bull's blood and some of the goat's blood and put it all on the horns of the altar. He is to sprinkle some of the blood on it with his finger 7 times, thus purifying it and setting it apart from the uncleanness of the people of Israel. When he has finished atoning for the holy place, the tent of meeting, and the altar, he is to present the live goat. Aharon is to lay both his hands on the head of the live goat and confess over it all the transgressions, crimes, and sins of the people of Israel. He is to put them on the head of the goat, and then send it away in the desert with a man appointed for that purpose. The goat will bear all their transgressions away to some isolated place, and he is to let the goat go in the desert. Aharon is to go back into the tent of meeting, where he is to remove the linen garments he put on when he entered the holy place, and he is to leave them there. Then he is to bathe his body in water in a holy place, but on his other clothes come out and offer his burnt offering and burnt offering to the people, thus making atonement for himself and for the people. He is to make the fat of the sin offering go up in smoke on the altar. The man who let go the goat for Azazel is to wash his clothes and bathe his body in water. Afterwards he may return to the camp. The bull for the sin offering and the goat for the sin offering, whose blood has brought in to make atonement in the holy place, is to be carried outside the camp. There they are to burn up completely, their hides, meat, and dung. The person burning them is to wash his clothes and bathe his body in water. Afterwards he may return to the camp. It is to be a permanent regulation for you that on the 10th day of the 7th month you are to deny yourselves and not do any kind of work, both the citizen and the foreigner living with you. For on this day atonement will be made for you to purify you. You will be clean before Adonai from all your sins. It is a Shabbat of complete rest for you, and you are to deny yourselves. This is a permanent regulation. The Cohen anointed and consecrated to be Cohen in his father's place will make the atonement. He will put on the linen garments, the holy garments. He will make atonement for the especially holy place. He will make atonement for the tent of meeting and the altar, and he will make atonement for the Kohanim and for the people of the community. This is a permanent regulation for you, to make atonement for the people of Israel because of all of their sins once a year. Moshe did as Adonai had ordered him. Adonai said to Moshe, "Speak to Aharon and his sons and to all the people of Israel. Tell them this is what Adonai has ordered. When someone from the community of Israel slaughters an ox, lamb, or goat inside or outside the community, without bringing it to the entrance of the tent of meeting to present it as an offering to Adonai before the tabernacle of Adonai, he is to be charged with blood. He has shed blood, and that person is to be cut off from his people. The reason for this is so that the people of Israel will bring their sacrifices so that they sacrifice out in the field, so that they will bring them to Adonai, to the entrance of the tent of meeting, to the Kohen, and sacrifice them as peace offerings to Adonai. The Kohen will splash the blood against the altar of Adonai at the entrance to the tent of meeting, and make the fat go up in smoke as a pleasing aroma for Adonai. No longer will they offer sacrifices to the goat demons, before whom they prostitute themselves. This is a permanent regulation for them throughout all their generations. Also tell them, when someone from a community of Israel or one of the foreigners living with you offers a burnt offering or sacrifice without bringing it to the entrance of the tent of meeting to sacrifice to Adonai, that person is to be cut off from his people. When someone from the community of Israel or one of the foreigners living with you eats any kind of blood, I will set myself against that person who eats blood and cut him off from his people. For the life of a creature is in the blood, and I have given it to you on the altar to make atonement for yourselves. For it is the blood that makes atonement because of life. This is why I told the people of Israel, none of you is to eat blood, nor is any foreigner living with you to eat blood. When someone from the community of Israel or one of the foreigners living with you hunts and catches game, whether animal or bird that may be eaten, he is to pour out its blood and cover it with earth. For the life of every creature is its blood, is its life. Therefore I said to the people of Israel, you are not to eat the blood of any creature, because the life of every creature is its blood. Whoever eats it will be cut off. Anyone eating an animal that dies naturally is torn to death by wild animals, whether he is a citizen or a foreigner, is to wash his clothes and bathe himself in water. He will be unclean until evening, then he will be clean. But if he doesn't wash them or bathe his body, he will bear the consequences of his wrongdoing. Adonai said to Moshe, speak to the people of Israel, telling them, I am Adonai your God. You are not to engage in the activities found in the land of Egypt, where you used to live, and you are not to engage in the activities found in the land of Canaan, where I am bringing you, nor are you to live by their laws. You are to obey my rulings and laws and live accordingly. I am Adonai your God. You are to observe my laws and rulings. If a person does them, he will have life through them. I am Adonai. None of you is to approach anyone who is a close relative in order to have sexual relations. I am Adonai. You are not to have sexual relations with your father, and you are not to have sexual relations with your mother. She is your mother. Do not have sexual relations with her. You are not to have sexual relations with your father's wife. That is your father's prerogative. You are not to have sexual relations with your sister, the daughter of your father, or the daughter of your mother, whether born at home or elsewhere. Do not have sexual relations with them. You are not to have sexual relations with the son's daughter, or with your son's daughter, or with your daughter's daughter. Do not have sexual relations with them, because their sexual disgrace will be your own. You are not to have sexual relations with your father's wife's daughter, born to your father, because she is your sister. Do not have sexual relations with her. You are not to have sexual relations with your father's sister, because she is your father's close relative. You are not to have sexual relations with your mother's sister, because she is your mother's close relative. You are not to disgrace your father's brother by having sexual relations with his wife, because she is your aunt. You are not to have sexual relations with your daughter-in-law, because she is your son's wife. Do not have sexual relations with her. You are not to have sexual relations with your brother's wife, because this is your brother's prerogative. You are not to have sexual relations with both a woman and her daughter, nor are you to have sexual relations with her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter. They are close relatives or of hers, and it would be shameful. You are not to take a woman to be a rival with her sister and have sexual relations with her while her sister is still alive. You are not to approach a woman in order to have sexual relations with her when she is unclean from her nidah. You are not to go to bed with your neighbor's wife and thus become unclean with her. You are not to let any of your children be sacrificed to Molech, thereby profaning the name of your God. I am Adonai. You are not to go to bed with a man as with a woman. It is an abomination. You are not to have sexual relations with any kind of animal and thus become unclean with it, nor is any woman to present herself to an animal to have sexual relations with it. It is perversion. Do not make yourselves unclean by any of these things, because all the nations which I am expelling ahead of you are defiled with them. The land has become unclean, and this is why I am punishing it. And the land itself will vomit out its inhabitants. But you are to keep my laws and rulings, and not engage in any of these disgusting practices, neither citizen nor the foreigner among you. For the people of the land have committed all these abominations, and the land is now defiled. If you make the land unclean, it will vomit you out too, just as it is vomiting out the nation that was there before you. For those who engage in any of these disgusting practices, whoever they may be, will be cut off from their people. So keep my charge not to follow any of these abominable customs that others before you have followed, and thus defile yourselves by doing them. I am Adonai your God. Adonai said to Moshe, "Speak to the entire community of Israel and tell them, you people are to be holy because I am Adonai. I, Adonai, your God, am holy. Every one of you is to revere his father and his mother, and you are to keep my Shabbats. I am Adonai your God. Do not turn to idols, and do not cast metal gods for yourselves, for I am Adonai your God. When you offer a sacrifice of peace offerings to Adonai, offer it in a way that will make you accepted. It is to be eaten the same day you offer it, and the following day, but if any of it remains until the third day, it is to be burnt up completely. If any of it is to be eaten on the third day, it will become a disgusting thing, will not be accepted. Moreover, everyone who eats it will bear the consequences of profaning something holy meant for Adonai. That person will be cut off from his people. When you harvest the ripe crops produced in your land, don't harvest all the way to the corners of your field, and don't gather the ears of grain left by the harvesters. Likewise, don't gather the grapes left on the vine or fallen on the ground after harvest. Leave them for the poor and the foreigner. I am Adonai your God. Do not steal from, defraud, or lie to each other. Do not swear by my name falsely, which would be profaning the name of your God. I am Adonai. Do not oppress or rob your neighbor. Specifically, you are not to keep back the wages of a hired worker all night until morning. Do not speak a curse against a deaf person or place an obstacle in the way of a blind person. Rather, fear your God. I am Adonai. Do not be unjust in judging. Show neither partiality to the poor nor deference to the mighty, but with justice judge your neighbor. Do not go around spreading slander among your people, but also don't stand idly by when your neighbor's life is at stake. I am Adonai. Do not hate your brother in your heart, but rebuke your neighbor frankly, so that you won't carry sin because of him. Don't take vengeance on or bear a grudge against any of your people. Rather, love your neighbor as yourself. I am Adonai. Observe my regulations. Don't let your livestock mate with those of another kind. Don't sow your field with two different kinds of grain, and don't wear a garment of cloth made with two different kinds of thread. If a man has sexual relations with a woman who is a slave intended for another man, and she has neither been redeemed nor given her freedom, there is to be an investigation. They are not to be put to death, because she was free. She was not free. In a reparation, he is to bring a ram as a guilt offering for himself to the entrance of the tent of meeting. The Cohen will make atonement for him with the ram of the guilt offering before Adonai for the sin he committed, and he will be forgiven for the sin he committed. When you enter the land and plant various kinds of fruit trees, you are to regard its fruit as forbidden for 3 years. It will be forbidden for you to eat, to you and not be eaten. In the 4th year, all its fruit will be holy for praising Adonai. But in the 5th year, you may eat its fruit, so that it will produce even more for you. I am Adonai your God. Do not eat anything with blood. Do not practice divination or fortune-telling. Don't round your hair at the temples or mar the edges of your beard. Don't cut gashes in your flesh when someone dies, or tattoo yourselves. I am Adonai your God. Do not debase your daughter by making her a prostitute, so that the land will not fall into prostitution and become full of shame. Keep my Shabbats and revere my sanctuary. I am Adonai. Do not turn to spirit mediums or sorcerers. Do not seek them out or to be defiled by them. I am Adonai your God. Stand up in the presence of a person with gray hair. Show respect for the old. You are to fear your God. I am Adonai. If a foreigner stays with you in your land, do not do him wrong. Rather, treat the foreigner staying with you like the native born among you. You are to love him as yourself, for you were foreigners in the land of Egypt. I am Adonai your God. Don't be dishonest when measuring length, weight, or capacity. Rather, use an honest balance scale, honest weights, an honest bushel dry measure, and an honest gallon liquid measure. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. Observe all my regulations and rulings, and do them. I am Adonai. Adonai said to Moshe, say to the people of Israel, if someone from the people of Israel or one of the foreigners living in Israel sacrifices one of his children to Molech, he must be put to death. The people of the land are to stone him to death. I too will set myself against him and cut him off from his people, because he has sacrificed his child to Molech, defiling my sanctuary, profaning my holy name. And if the people of the land look the other way when that man sacrifices his child to Molech, and fail to put him to death, then I will set myself against him, his family, and everyone who follows him to go fornicating after Molech, and cut them off from their people. The person who turns to spirit mediums and sorcerers to go fornicating after them, I will set myself against him, and cut him off from his people. Therefore consecrate yourselves. You people must be holy, because I am Adonai your God. Observe my regulations and obey them. I am Adonai who sets you apart to be holy. A person who curses his father or mother must be put to death. Having cursed his father or his mother, his blood is on him. If a man commits adultery with another man's wife, that is, with the wife of a fellow countryman, both the adulterer and the adulteress must be put to death. The man who goes to bed with his father's wife has disgraced his father sexually, and both of them will be put to death. Their blood is on them. If a man goes to bed with his daughter-in-law, both of them must be put to death. They have committed a perversion, and their blood is on them. If a man goes to bed with a man as with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They must be put to death. Their blood is on them. If a man marries a woman and her mother, it is depravity. They are to be put to death by fire, both he and they, so that there will not be depravity among you. If a man has sexual relations with an animal, he must be put to death, and you are to kill the animal. If a woman approaches an animal and has sexual relations with it, you are to kill the animal, or the woman and the animal. Their blood will be on them. If a man takes his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and has sexual relations with her, and she consents, it is a shameful thing. They are to be cut off publicly. He has had sexual relations with his sister, and he will bear the consequences of their wrongdoing. If a man goes to bed with a woman in her menstrual period and has sexual relations with her, he has exposed the source of her blood, and she has exposed the source of her blood. Both of them are to be cut off from their people. You are not to have sexual relations with your mother's sister or your father's sister. A person who does this has had sexual relations with their close relative, and they will bear the consequences of their wrongdoing. If a man goes to bed with his uncle's wife, he has disgraced his uncle sexually, and they will bear the consequences of their sin and die childless. If a man takes his brother's wife, it is an uncleanness. He has disgraced his brother sexually, and they will be childless. You are to observe all my regulations and rulings and act on them, so that the land to which I am bringing you will not vomit you out. Do not live by the regulations of the nations which I am expelling ahead of you, because they did all these things, why I detested them. But to you I have said, you will inherit their land, and I will give it to you as a possession, a land flowing with milk and honey. I am Adonai your God, who has set you apart from other peoples. Therefore you are to distinguish between clean and unclean animals, and between clean and unclean birds. Do not make yourselves detestable with an animal, bird, or reptile that I have set apart for you to regard as unclean. Rather, you people are to be holy for me, because I am Adonai. I am God, and I have set you apart from the other peoples, so that you can belong to me. A man or a woman who is a spirit medium or sorcerer must be put to death. They are to stone them to death. Their blood will be on them.